Digital storytelling and comprehension. How does digital storytelling affect reading comprehension? Background and need. The National Assessment of Education Progress shows that reading scores have not changed in fourth grade from 2013 to 2015. The CASP results show that only 43% of students met or exceeded the standard in English language arts. Linda Darling Hammond wrote that teachers need to use multiple strategies to support different learners. Summary of research shows that students need to be motivated to utilize their skills in a meaningful ways. It also shows that digital stories help teachers gain insight on how students learn. Another study found that students are more motivated when they use technology in the classroom. The purpose of the project is to find out how does digital storytelling affect reading comprehension. This was a pre-experimental, pre-test, post-test study. The steps included introducing the story. The students previewed, predicted, they listened to the story, they popcorn read the story, and discussed the story elements, just as in previous weeks with the other stories in the unit. Then the teacher introduced the digital storytelling tool VoiceThread and went over the rubric and the expectations of the project. Students then filled out a graphic organizer in their group and wrote a script to use with VoiceThread. Students used VoiceThread to retell the story with the teacher help. Lastly, they did a self-assessment survey on how they felt about using the tool. They also took an accelerated reader test on the story that they used VoiceThread for. Here is an image of the results for the accelerated reader test. This is the qualitative data collected by the accelerated reader test. The pre-test was done on a different story, and the post-test was done on the story that students did VoiceThread with. The quantitative data shows the self-assessment that students took. There were 5 questions, and there were 3 different smiley faces showing a smiley face for good, a straight face for okay, and a sad face for not great. The 5 questions were, how did you feel about using the digital tool to retell the story? How do you feel about working in a group? How did you feel when this helped you remember the story? How did you feel retelling the story in the group? How did you feel about doing this again? And these were the results of the students' answers. After analyzing the data, it shows that using VoiceThread was not significant. The data shows that using VoiceThread did not show any growth within student AR scores. Students also showed that they were nervous doing the digital tool. Also, students mentioned that they were nervous on the self-assessment. Multiple students also said they did not like working in groups, and there was very small growth within the pre and post test. Recommendations are to give student roles when they do group work. That might help with students working well together. Also, give them more play time on the digital tool so they're not as nervous to use the tool, and they know what to expect when they use it. And lastly, find appropriate tools, digital tools for their age level.